Shot for goal, shot for goal, shot for goal, shot for goal! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're tuning in from, and a Happy New Year to you all. I think it's still applicable to say, it depends if you're talking to Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm or not. As far as his perspective, we're way too late to be saying Happy New Year's and those kind of salutations still, but I don't buy into everything that man says, though I do love his comedy. We are here. We are saying Happy New Year because it's our first time back. And of course, we're here with the wonderful Noah, Brinkworth. Noah, it is the new year. We've got a show in store where we're really going to kind of break down the last couple of weeks, a little bit of personal, a little bit of administrative, organizational, but just checking back in the new year, of course, centered around Ultimate. We'll start with, how the hell are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Stef. I had a nice little break over the Christmas period. We ran right up to Christmas on the show, and then took a little bit of a break for New Year's. I've actually been playing quite a lot of Ultimate. With our kind of streaming schedule, it's almost easier to hit some of these indoor tournaments in the winter. I love playing a bit of indoor. Secretly, I'm a little bit better at indoor as well, Steph. I kind of go, and I had a real good time. We did pretty well. I went to Tom Styles' tournament, Pitch Hog.
Copa de Crimbo.
Not Pitch Hog, sorry, Copa de Crimbo. Oh, brutal. And Resolution, the New Year's Resolution tournament, which we runs up till New Year's Eve. It's been.
How was that?
I've been a little sick.
Where that's in the Ham? Is that goes down in the Ham?
I got one in the Ham. Crimbo's in the Ham, and then Res all the way up in Newcastle, which is like one of the most northern UK cities before you get into like Scotland. So I live right at the bottom of the UK. It's a bit of a journey for me, but yeah, it's in the country, so not too bad. Yeah, I haven't been out of the country. I've just been UK based and but still traveling around a lot. I hear you, Steph, in the Christmas New Year's period, did take a little bit of an international trip. Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, I get to do a little bit of border crossing. It's easy for me where I live in the south of France, in Nice, to cross into Italy. It only takes about 45 minutes. In fact, I had to do it twice because I forgot something on the train on my way back, and I had to go back into Italy and get it the day after returning. But yeah, it was awesome. I went to Bologna. I hung out with Choppo for the most part, Giovanni Santucci. He takes me in and takes care of me. We both love being in the kitchen, and we, had some excellent feasts. Of course, you can check that out on my YouTube channel, Stef Pazzo on YouTube. But we did fried chicken, we did pancakes and bacon, we did smash burgers, a bunch of American meals. But then we also did some tortellinis, some nice matriciana pasta with taleggio and radicchio tardivo, whatever these words. I did a fair bit of studying to remember them, but we ate really well. I'm also going there because, I'm considering living in Italy. So it was just one more test. I figure if I'm going in and kind of the worst time of year, it's good for perspective. And to that end, it snowed actually my last day in Bologna, which is mind-boggling knowing how hot it gets there in the summer. But all things said, I think I had a great trip in Bologna, and the consideration to move there continues. So yeah, that was, I just got back from that 2 days ago.
So if I'm a betting man, I should be betting on a Stef Pazzo move to Bologna transfer deal.
I mean, I don't want to sell you too far down the river, but yeah, I would say there's a very good chance. Nothing is certain. A move is huge. I've been lucky enough to make a living of relocating in my life and having many places to live. It's been awesome, but each time has presented its own difficulties and like reasons for moving and opportunities, and there has to be some ease about it and some, I don't want to force the issue as much as I would like it, and I can foresee it. in Selga. Can happen with a little bit of natural ebb and flow to it. So, yeah, I also think I gotta, talk it into a reality as well. So that's what we're doing here. We're talking about it on the pod. Uh,
Mm.
Christmas for me, I'll go through quickly. I got sick a couple days before Christmas. Thanks to Benji for jumping in on that pod right before you guys did with Liam. I was listening in, but we'll just leave it at stomach issues that rendered me unable to be in a chair in front of my computer for at least an hour straight. You can work out the math. My what I call holiday purgatory, Noah, is kind of that period in between Christmas and New Year's where you lose track of everything. And for me, I think because I'm considering moving, because there's a state of transition in ULTI.TV, for me, there's a little bit of morose nature. I was very analytical with the way my year had gone and what I might hope for in the new year, which is, I would say, pretty standard, normal for a lot of people at this time of year. It's a good time for reflection and analysis. So I definitely was able to do that and dive into some mind maps and vision boards. And New Year's, I spent it here in Nice. It was a great night. Dinner, drinks, dancing, good old-fashioned fun until we just kept club hopping. And then I wouldn't say it was good old-fashioned fun. I would say it was wild, cutting-edge, modern fun, if that sums it up a bit better. But yeah, the party was good, and yeah, that brings me back to what we just talked about, Bologna. Otherwise, I'm reaching out to a lot of people in Ultimate for their uniform needs. VC Lookfly. If you need uniforms this year, make sure you get in touch with me, and I can sort you for that. So there's my last plug. What about you, Noah? Take us through your last couple of weeks before we get into our resolutions.
So my pre-Christmas, I did Copper, and I think that was a really strong tournament. That was one of my favorite of the year. We came third, which is pretty good. Like teams are, I
This
think
is the
28 teams.
Newcastle one.
This is the Tom Stiles Copper de Crimbo, the Ham.
Copa de Crimbo. Sorry,
So
sorry, sorry.
we had a brilliant outing there. That was a load of fun, and we went out as well. Went to the tournament party, outlasted the tournament party, went to the club afterwards. So we had a strong showing there and ate some great food. I kind of love going to the Ham now. If you're a UK Ultimate player, the pilgrimage to the Ham is a frequent occurrence because loads of our nationals is always there, and like if you play uni stuff, it's always there. If you like most of like the tournaments that have everyone in the country playing happens at the Ham, wind farms at the Ham, the big internationals often at the Ham too. So I've got the Ham worked out, Steph. I know where I'm eating, I know where I'm staying. I had a brilliant time. Unfortunately, I got sick there, so I started getting a little bit sick over Christmas. Went and did Christmas in London. I lived down in Brighton, and a little bit sick. And then I was in the purgatory uh, area. I was still sick, and I had a few friends come over from Stockholm as well. Joe and Emma, if you're watching, so sorry, I missed out seeing you guys. But then I was just about well enough to head up on the 30th and play a tournament for New Year's, and that was a super fun tournament. I was still a little bit limited because of the illness, but I think I'd been really lucky this year on that stuff, so not so bad. I didn't have I had a pretty chilled New Year's Eve. We went out a bit more on the 30th, so my New Year's Eve was pretty chill. And Steph, I can't lie, my 2026 has not started as well as 2025 was so far. It's like feel a little bit quiet. I've had a little kind of annoying days, long days. You know the sort. Like I got stuck yesterday or 2 days ago on like a 2.5 hour bus that was to go like 10 total miles. So
Mm.
it just, the wrong direction was a lot of the time I was spending on that bus. So that was not
Well, don't take everything as an
not super
omen.
fun.
That's what I've been.
Yeah, yeah,
I've
I'm not
been
taking this home.
stuck in that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, well, I had a great 2025 though. Eventually, you can't be having the best year of your life every single year of your life, right? Like
no,
2024 was the best year, and then
something's got to
2025
give.
beat it. Like, Yeah, something's got to give here.
Potentially something's got to give, or potentially they can just all be awesome and you don't have to compare and rank them and rate them. I'm hoping for a good year in 2026, but the same thing. I would say the start of the year, if I'm really like looking for indications and signs, I probably have not got those. I may have got the opposite. In fact, I saw Irena Scazzieri, and I was like kind of like morose and analytical and like wondering, and she's like, oh, this year is going to be a great year for me. I'm a Gemini. This for this reason, this reason, this reason. And she's like, what are you? I was like, Scorpio. She's like, oh, no, not for you. It won't be a good year for you. I was like, Jesus Christ, Scazzieri. You're damning
Don't jinx me
here,
like
but,
that.
yes, jinxing me into damnation. But I whatever, shake it off. Keep going, wake up, and put the next foot in front of the other. Let's talk about ULTI.TV and what they have been up to in the past month as well, because I guess there's a lot going on. I mean, we'll start with the Streamathon. That was an interesting project. I think, listen, it came out right after the Ultiworld Streamathon. Ultiworld did a 24-hour Streamathon, and it was really well organized and hosted hour by hour and had lots of personalities coming in and reviewing events. And then we launched our Streamathon immediately thereafter, and it was very different. And in hindsight, it's quite easy to say it was an inferior kind of a product. We simply have a crap load of content and replayed it live. We put it in order. We had, Noah, you did a lot of this work, but 15 days worth of game back to back to back to back to back. Did we garner crap loads of viewers? No. Did we garner the ability for people to kind of engage and connect online? No, it just wasn't happening. I think I said at the beginning of this, like, guys, there's another Streamathon going on. Should we do this? And there's a little bit of, everybody does a Streamathon. They don't own the Streamathon, this and that. And I was like, well, no, it's true, but we do share viewers, and a lot of our viewers will have just seen their debut of a Streamathon and then saw our debut of a Streamathon. And again, comparison being the thief of joy is it will take it away. But I think in this case, our Streamathon was something that was like, it produced a lot of wonder. I spoke to people and they're like, what's going on with this thing you guys got on ULTI.TV right now? I was like, we're just playing a lot of games. We got a lot of games. So it was an interesting one. What was your take on it when it was all said and done, Noah?
I mean, that's kind of the idea, right? Like, if you do something that's 15 days, it's not going to beat something that's one day in terms of the quality every single minute of content, because it's just like we're just playing 15 days worth of content, right? I think the thought process, right, is, hey, I want to go watch some Ultimate. There's definitely some Ultimate live on ULTI.TV. We are TV channel. That's the kind of idea, right? So if you turn on MTV, right, for sure there's going to be some music video playing, right? You turn on ULTI.TV, for sure there's going to be some Ultimate playing. So that was the kind of idea. I think we'll do it a little bit differently if we do something like that again, and maybe trying to do something more similar, engage on a shorter time frame. Also let's be frank, Steph. The fail of this plan is that if you want to watch Ultimate, we don't withhold it for you the whole year. It's all available live on demand on our YouTube channel. So maybe it's hard to watch, hard to pick exactly which Ultimate to watch, but it's all out there all the time. So, we'll look for some feedback on that. Maybe we'll do it again, maybe we won't. We're not committed either way, but it was nice to celebrate that 15 years of ULTI.TV. Yeah.
I'd say we'll do it again. It might be different, but you got to check things to the wall, see what sticks. Maybe that one didn't stick so tight, but we gave it a crack, and that's how she goes. Otherwise, some blog posting going on. ULTI.TV, blog.ULTI.TV. There are some archived blog posts, one from 2025 and then a bunch back in 2024 and beyond. But a new post called Time for Transformation that Milan and Mike authored together. They penned this together. It is, a lot about what the vision is going to look like. I think these blog posts are intended to restructure, to reorganize from the top down, to figure things out based on culture and vision first, then structure, and then kind of worrying about logistics, job roles, content, creativity, this kind of stuff. It's an interesting take. It's an interesting time. I think it is definitely something that is required. It always feels like the rug's being pulled from under you sometimes. Not always, but sometimes feels like the rug's being pulled from under you when you're kind of cruising along working, and then it's like, wait, everything's going to change. And so I think we're at a bit of a wait. I think there's a lot of conversations going on, a lot of feedback coming in, but a start of finding some new direction.
It's similar to your mood boards and your vision boards of 2026 stuff. We're feeling around right now, planning what we want to do, and I think it's more of a multi-year plan that we're looking for than just the plan for 2026 going forward and reorganizing. Um, Thinking about exactly how we want to distribute content and what kind of content we want to distribute. If you have thoughts, come talk to us on the ULTI.TV Instagram, probably the best place to, or you can chuck us an email, head to the ULTI.TV website to find that sort of stuff to contact us. But Instagram DM, come reach out.
Yeah,
And last thing I'll say about,
blog.ulti.tv and
yeah,
hit us in the comments right where
get
we're
in the
looking for it
comments.
there too. There's many ways to hit us up, so pick whichever one works best for you. And I mean, above and beyond everything, what our primary concerns are to involve and engage the community more frequently and with more depth to be able to get more out of more people, to get whether that be ideas, physical contributions, intellectual contributions, just guiding light or direction, whatever it may be. I think we have gone down over the last few years into, and a lot of what we're doing is adapt and evolve and adapt and evolve, and it's a difficult enough business, working in ultimate broadcasting, that adapt and evolve can sometimes put you in a sticky situation. And I guess it was sticky enough that it's now being aired out, and we're looking for ways to not necessarily fix it, but just find a better way to do it. Is that another way to say fix, or that's up to you to decide?
I think like that's I'm not gonna I don't want us to scare the viewers too much here, Steph. Like, I think you should be expecting us to pop up at the start of the season with some streams, right? And exactly how that's going to look, who knows at this point? But like Paganello coverage, your early season coverage, there's might be some fun in Lanzarote. That should be coming your way in April, and this is my call to action. If you've got a March tournament, if you've got a February tournament, I know teams are starting really, really early this year, like getting their trials in January. If you're doing stuff in February and March, ultimate viewers, you're going to be well fed by our Southern Hemisphere content, nationals and stuff like that. But we've got time. We've got time to come and film your tournament in February and March. Come reach out to us. It's something that we are able to do, and we're happy to talk about. But expect
Boom.
some
There you go.
ultimate
Don't
in the
be
new year.
scared from what I'm saying. Be optimistic from what Noah's saying. Also, Kaimana is official. We may have the organizers on the show prior to the event, but on Valentine's Day, a February event, February 14th to 16th, we will be just outside of Honolulu, bringing you the action from Kaimana Classic, which is super exciting. Noah, we're gonna talk
Amazing,
about
amazing news.
yeah, it is. It is. No, let's talk about our resolutions. That is what we're here for. It is the new year. It's 2026. We've talked about what's kind of got us here, what we're feeling here, what we've been going through. Let's talk about what we'd like to see more of and what we'd like to see less of in 2026. We can call them resolutions of sort. They are, but I think some are a little bit. Or at least some of the ones that I've put down they're more of what I want in Ultimate and within the world of
Yeah,
Ultimate. Then sure, some are what I want more of in my own life. So
exactly.
and I suppose most of them cross over both. But yeah, I'll start us off here. More in 2026. I want to mispronounce the word six less. But I also would like to see more sponsor-driven events. That is something that I am probably going to put some personal effort into, and whether that happens in 2026 or is something that needs to grow into 2027, for me, it is still the number one thing that we need in our sport is external sponsorship coming in and taking on events and being able to, share the financial burden or take on the financial burden that players and tournament directors are often stuck with and often deterred to be able to stream because of. And I think we just need to be. And listen, we got to make our creatives. We've got to invest in being able to do this. The sponsors are not going to come running to us with fists full of cash. So there has to be some level of investment of making a video, making a story, making a pamphlet, making a pitch deck, whatever it might be, to say, hey, big spender sponsor, have we got an event for you? And what we're selling at that stage, is it bang for buck comparatively? Is it, the next big thing? Is it something that's ripe for the picking? These are the concepts that I think we need to see more of in 2026. I am going to do my part, but I think everybody needs to be, checking in. Do you know somebody who works for those companies? Check with them. Ask them. Have you guys ever thought about doing this? You can do it for such small scales, but this is to me the number one thing that I want to see. And the number two thing, because I loved them so much, and then we'll go back and forth here, Noah, is these small stadium events now. And we've had two in Portimao. There was one up in Gdansk. These are indoor settings. London Invite had it, but the atmosphere being built at some of these small stadium events is precisely what the sport needs, both in person and to be able to sell tickets in small towns and sell seats to get people out and buying drinks and enjoying the game. And as well, to be able to broadcast it, and to have all these people in the back of shots, it just makes things so much better. And so that is, I love conceptual tournaments. I love people designing this and that. And I just think, just make sure you've got a showcase pitch in mind that presents well. Make sure. But
What?
keep that as one of your points of organization.
A tournament that I'm excited for this year, Steph, is World Juniors. And I think some people have been a little bit critical of that Logroño venue. But what you have to give to it is it may be the best venue for having a little bit of a crowd. Like so many of the pitches at that complex have a small stadium for maybe 1,000, 1,200 people to sit in. It's an amazing place. If you're a parent of a junior player, and maybe your player kind of plays for the national team every year. I think Logroño could be a really good time to take the trip out with them and watch those games because it is a great place to be a spectator. I think it's going to be a little bit cooler because it was record-breakingly hot last year, and if they kind of air out some of the problems with the pitch boundaries, little hazards around the pitches, if we get slightly lucky with the weather, it could be a really great spectator event stuff.
Yeah, that was one of the big conundrums with Logroño was that you had the great spectator stadium for all of the days worth of events. Then you had an even better stadium, yes, for the final, but an empty stadium, and a stadium where all the fans were sitting on the same side as the broadcast because the sun was on the opposite seats. Like it was just like it's nice to play in big football stadium, but I'd prefer to play in a small stadium if you can't fill up the football stadium is what I'm going back to. You want to go
If
in
I
with
was
some
in
of
charge, Steph,
your
I'd go first game of the tournament in the super cool stadium, and then finals day in at the venue and fill up the stadium and have the atmosphere. I think it
well,
was super cool
it
to
really
walk into the
depends.
stadium like that for the opening
Yeah,
ceremony kind of vibe.
and I think the difference there is that it's one game you're selling on the showcase, the opening showcase. Three, like you can't drag locals in off the street for 3 games in a row, or like a six
Mm.
hour door open event. Like people aren't going to come. That so I like what you're saying. On the opening day, there's one event. It's usually the home team. Don't pick one of the medal favorites to play them, maybe, so that they get their asses kicked.
Yeah.
And you know, then you get all this local crowd, because there were hundreds, if not thousands, of Spanish guests there for that first game. They may not
Mm.
have made it right till the end because they got pumped.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I will stick in the things I want to see more of in the kind of production behind the scenes tournament space. I'm gonna go start with post-produced games, Steph. Someone who's been leading on this is actually someone we've mentioned already in the show. Tom Styles has put out some amazing games in 2025, where he's just like got some people standing with phones like around the an indoors pitch or something like that, and you could imagine the same on an outdoors pitch. Like we don't always have pole cams and all of this ability to make a great broadcast, but I think that there is real like a lot of the times there's multiple people filming around a pitch, right? Filming from one side, filming from the other, trying to get highlight clips. I've seen that he's managed to like have people work together, get a nice wide angle from one side of the pitch, and then be shooting highlights from the other and from the sidelines, cutting it all together, doing some live commentary at the same time. So he's done that for the UK University indoor games. He also did the other Nottingham tournament that happened last weekend, Pitch Hog. And it was just super fun to watch that game. Indoor Ultimate watches brilliantly as well. So I'm looking forward to indoors as part of this season for the European Federation. That's happening at the end of this month. Second thing, Steph, on the production thing is I want to see more coaches as part of the storyline. So I've been watching, I'm always just watching sports, watching the NFL, watching the Premier League, all of these kind of things, NBA. I love that in football, for example, I have an idea of like the tactical philosophy of a Guardiola versus a Klopp versus Arne Slots versus, and maybe these coaches don't mean so much to everyone, but with the sport, the big major sport you follow, if your coach is kind of an old school coach, if they're really aggressive coach, if they're really a passive coach, right? If they're more of a man manager, if they're really diving into the tactics, looking at the whiteboards. I think so many times now the coach is rocking around, like telling people to do stuff on the line. But there's very few coaches in Ultimate I really know their philosophy. And it'll be super cool to be able to build the coaches, the managers into the story of the game and talking about, like, because we're seeing some coaches and managers that do bounce around and coach different teams. So it'd be cool to kind of build that narrative of who likes what stuff and how it's working for the team at the time. What do you think, Steph?
Yeah, I love it. I think that's a great idea. I think there are so many different directions that coaches can take a team towards. And you're right. It is something that is undisclosed, certainly in streaming situations. We'd love to be able to get more input, insight out of coaches. But yeah, that should be part of the narrative, the storyline. Again, if it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. It makes it more difficult when it's not being streamed to kind of work these things out. But I do think at elite levels, that is something that people know the tendencies of these coaches, what they're going to do early, how they're going to make their adjustments, and what are their general tendencies of defense first, offense first, kind of what kind of formations they come in. This stuff is also important, as you said, something that is just like completely unpacked to the nth degree in every other sport, and it's there should be no difference in Ultimate, and getting more streamed games as we go. It is the case. I think straight up, just more teams need coaches as well. That being
Yeah.
the precursor to what you're saying. We're getting
Mhm.
more and more, but I think more and more and more. and then this narrative will grow even more. My next one, no, is pundits and storytellers. I think we're getting more and more. You and I have turned ourselves into a weekly punditry show. We've been having a great time doing it. Sometimes an episode sticks, sometimes it misses, but you got to keep going. You got to keep doing it and putting it out there. The Ulti World does a great job with their pods, particularly Deep Look. But the pod practice guys last year was a huge year for them. You get people like Kai Creed. You get XL Ultimate. Ulti Vaughn is out there now. I think these are. There's so many people who watch Ultimate for so many different reasons. Some want analysis, some want to learn, some want straight up stats, some want highlights. People need a bit of, the more that's out there, the more options we got. Mark Duty, I want to shout him out. Out of nowhere, I don't think he's done any Ultimate multimedia that I know of. He's done pretty a good 5 games of commentary, not much, but he loves it. He came out and did that Ranelagh documentary, which is interesting because ULTI.TV and myself did a Ranelagh documentary, and his kicked the crap out of ours. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it, Noah, but it was really a trip down memory lane, both for the sport, like he kind of like introduces Ranelagh and this rivalry with Clapham, and then but before we get into it, let me just tell everybody about the sport of Ultimate, and gives like a good history of Ultimate, and then goes right back into the story. It was a great told story, and I think that's another thing I would love to see more of in 2026 is more people putting in time for passion projects in Ultimate that are multimedia and storytelling based.
Absolutely. I'm going to move us to kind of what the season, like things I want to see this season. And to be honest, Steph, all of my next three are all kind of based around the big story in 2026, which is WUC. Um, so I want to see the WUC transfer window in the short term. Something I just saw today, Khalif El Salam gets the story post up. Any WUC mixed team want to take me? This is what I want to see, and I want to hear the rumors. I want to hear the conversations. You're a good man to talk to for this sort of stuff, Steph. But
I
it's going
got
to be so
juice already,
exciting to
but I'm not.
see.
I'm not
Not
allowed to
allowed to
tell some of
squeeze
my
yet.
juice yet. I'm on a week to week. Like, hey, can I tell now? Hey, can I tell now? But there are
Amazing.
some exciting transfers and
My question to these
roster
people are: who are you
modifications or
hiding it
roster
for?
reinforcements. Huh?
If you know you're going, players, just tell us. We'll be excited about
Yeah,
it.
put it
We'll be
out there.
excited about it.
Let us
Like
know.
if you're certain,
But
let
a
us know.
transfer window, you're right, would be awesome if there was like a legitimate, like this is your. I mean, I guess there is a roster deadline.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward. Like the rumor mill already is going haywire. There are going to be a lot of at least European teams that are taking on handfuls of at least U.S. players. Beyond that, who knows? I mean, you guys were talking last week when I was 2 weeks ago when I was ill. Like even Ellipsis, like they're
Mm.
not playing in the men's division, but it wasn't really noted that basically Sunder is a super team, a combination of the two best teams in Australia, getting Rob Andrews and well, I didn't see McGuckin's name yet either. Is he going to be on machine? Anyways, this is the excitement. So more of this, less of a drip feed, more of an open tap. Give it to us. Who is playing where?
Another thing I want to see more of, Steph, is a stronger, better WUC mixed division compared to 4 years ago. 4 years ago, WUC mixed was a bit rubbish, to be honest. They're the American teams there, hybrid at the time, older versions. I can't even remember, like Lawless maybe were there. They were a bit rubbish.
Mixtape was there.
Mixtape were good. Mixtape were kind of the only top
The
team who played
mixtape were
really
in the
well.
controversy against Lunchbox, a
Oh
very
yeah,
controversial play,
I
especially if you ask
agree
Liam
that
Grimmond, and he'll show you the photo.
I'm with you on that photo. Lunchbox good team, but like I mean, I remember a pre-quarter hearing Tom Stiles just lament about how both American teams in this pre-quarter were playing a little bit rubbish, and the final as well, bit of a, just mixtape absolutely killed Red Flag. So I think there's way stronger European mixed teams. I hope we keep getting strength out of Australia like we did at Work Mixed with Lunchbox. Maybe we even get some great things out of teams like Singapore, like teams like India, countries that have been historically strong in the mixed division. Maybe we're not going to get quite so much out of Canada compared to Red Flag. That Vancouver bubble's kind of burst, but I'm sure there's going to be more
Odyssey
teams
of
that.
Montreal, they were the
Uh,
business before Red Flag. So are they back? Beaudry's playing there. We'll see. I think they'll
we'll
be.
see.
But Mephisto made it too in Montreal, so that's the problem. And nobody from Vancouver, or no open or mixed from Vancouver. I don't know. It's going to be very
It's gonna
interesting.
be
You're right,
crazy,
but I
but
think
what I
you
want to see
are
is like
hoping for
six or
that
seven great
because
teams. Yeah.
yeah, you're hoping for it because you're fearing the alternative, and I think it's safe to hope for it and fear the alternative. I
Mm.
can't see the mixed division being lights out. I think it's going to be a dramatic step down for both women's and open once again.
I don't agree. I
I
don't
hope we're
agree. I
wrong,
don't think I
as
fear
you
as
said.
much as that. Like Mosquito's good. Deep Space are good. These Tausche are good. Like
That good?
I think
That good? When you're talking about like alternatives of like moon cups and moon catchers and jinx and lafotas and these two, I think when you compare it,
mhm.
yeah, there's a couple good teams, but I just still think the overall skill vacuum takes so much of it to the open and women's division that it still is a division that is leftovers. The rest,
Look, for me as
which
a
is
viewer,
harsh
like
putting it that way.
I agree somewhat, Steph, but for me as the viewer as well, I don't mind like hybrid also a little bit of a step down from Revolver and Brute Squad, right? So if we get competitive teams, if we get five or six really competitive teams who could all win the tournament, who are upsetting, if we get anything like the mixed division of World Beach, that kind of upset craziness,
Yeah,
that would
yeah.
be pretty
I guess
awesome.
to
And I
that end,
think,
you're right. And I do love watching the mixed game more. Like when it is skill level comparable, when it's world games, when it's top skill level or whatever, that I do definitely like the dynamic and appreciate how much more difficult it is to make things work in mixed than it is in the other two divisions.
um,
Uh,
have you
all
got any
right.
more Moors,
Shall I take
Steph?
one? Huh?
Yeah, any more Moors? Any more? What do you just want to see more of?
I got lots more mores, but I'll try and crank them out here. Mixed and women's viewership. I want that to go up. I think it is so sad that it's like default every single tournament. A open final will have sometimes double, triple, quadruple the viewership of those other finals. I hope that is starting to come to an end. I want everything to be up and up and up, but I want more people who are watching those open finals to watch the other ones too, to watch the mixed and the women's. There is a great campaign going on. It's been a year plus in the making. Maeva Kuzi is behind it, but she's starting something called All Stars Ultimate, and it is an all women's tournament that she wants to run middle of July. Not everything is nailed down. There is an Instagram account called All Stars Ultimate, but this is one of hopefully many opportunities to get more mixed and women on better showcases, better stages to perform and play. Besides at the multi-division championships, there's been many in the past open division only tournaments, mixed division only tournaments. There's very few, if any. I'm sure there's been cases, but much fewer women only tournaments. So this is one that I'm back and hoping for.
That'd be awesome.
You know what else?
Awesome.
The other thing I want to say is I want more of what we did have in 2025: loud, bright uniforms. I thought that there were some awesome ones. I hated on Ireland's pants for a day, and then I was like, okay, I'm hating on that because I don't like the fact that some have black shorts and some have mint green pants. If they were all just mint green, ballin'. Those were awesome. Flip side did it well. There's so many. I love the wild and out there uniforms. I thought the bling were nice purples this year. I loved our super team purples this year, but it really is the brighter colors, and it seems these pants have been something that have been a eye catchers. So I want more fluoro, more bright, loud colors.
They are high value trade items. Get your orders in for WAC
USA
if
was
you want to be
lining up.
getting. Yeah, if you want to be getting the coolest WAC jerseys on your trades, go get yourself a cool pair of team pants. Um,
Yeah.
my
Do you
last,
get
I've
any
got two
more
more.
Moors? Like,
I got two more Moors,
hit
and they're
me.
together. I want more upsetting the US, and I want to see more of. I want to see the final chapter of Clapham as this generation of Clapham. If these things could go in hand, I think it would be kind of beautiful. And I think, Steph, look, maybe it would be a little bit far-fetched to suggest they might be winning the World Ultimate Club Championships. I mean, they're not the number one seed of Europe anymore, but they're taking two bites of the cherry, Steph. They've got this Clapham Masters team playing at the World Masters Championships in the Ham, as we talked about earlier on. So they've got two goes at it, and I hear this team's going to be uh,
Old.
pretty good. Like rolling back the years and getting some old Clapham legends. I hear a Nazembe Vogel is going to be returning to the Clapham Reds. Uh, I think
Ooh.
that could be super exciting. So maybe some American talent coming over and redonning the Clapham uniform. Would love to
Yeah.
see that team that's been kind of the top of the mountain for the 2010s, even before that, and into the 2020s as well. Finally get a nice shiny gold medal.
Well, I'm with you on wanting more American defeats. I don't think I'm with you on seeing Clapham as the team that's going to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not totally against it either. I don't think it's far fetched.
Let
It
them have
wouldn't be my
masters,
top
Steph.
bet.
Let them
Yeah,
have
yeah.
masters.
I mean, the Masters could do it. It could happen. Are they going to be the
I think it's
best
gonna happen.
non-US Masters Open club? Potentially. Uh, I want to see more human-operated streams. It
Hmm.
makes such a difference having a human on a camera who can zoom and follow a disc. I want to see more and more of that. Just I'll get to a few of my lessons. Will be the antitheses of
Hmm.
these. I think what I also want is starting this podcast on time. I want more of that. I want it to be on the minute, on the hour. That is that's a note both to you, Noah, and our producer Grabco in the
And to
back. Never
you.
me. I'm always ready. I'm always ready. But
Steph, we're
yes, I,
also
I
going to be
want
on
to.
time to take our break. So maybe when we get into the
Yes.
lessons here, should we take a little quick break and
Well,
come back and talk about
is
our lessons?
that sounds like a nice segue? But I still had more to talk about Moors, but we'll come back with those Moors after a few words from from ULTI.TV, of course.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
I'm Stef Pazzo, and I must eat.
Sometimes commentator, sometimes food eater.
On my ultimate travels in 2023, I sampled culinary classics from all across Europe,
Oh, wow.
guided by some of your favorite ultimate players.
That's the Dutch hospitality for you right there.
I'll give you an insight into the secret spots that only the locals know of.
Are these the best schnitzels in Vienna?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course.
Go find Stef Pazzo on YouTube. Like and subscribe and follow the European Ultimate Must Eat series.
Oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. And created the net and made for it.
That was absolutely incredible.
What up, party people? We're back, and as mentioned, I can tell you about a few more of my resolution ambitions. I want more collaborations and partnerships, Noah. I want to be able to do that personally in my own life, but with Ultimate as well, running teams, running tournaments, running broadcasts, working with sponsors, working with partners, working with people that are like-minded. I definitely want more of that this year. Calm and understanding of perspectives and feelings. I think I am naturally a reactive kind of person. I'm proud enough from time to time for sure, but it's definitely something I would like to be able to be a bit more present with and understand others and not just sit on my opinions. Finally, discipline and daily structure. I think I go up and down with this. A life on the road makes it very difficult to have a routine on the daily, but that is something that I do want to be better at and have more of. So that's all I wanted to finish off with. I think all that stuff applies to ULTI.TV and myself the same. Let's talk about what we want less of. I'll start with something that's not in my notes. I want less of this 6-7 nonsense. It is so ridiculous. I am taking a stab at the youth of the world. But like, what has happened to these children? Who dropped all of them on their head where two numbers next to each other became that hysterical and ridiculous? Like it's just enough's enough. So that's my first qualm with what I'd like to see less of in 2026. No.
I think it's on the way out, Steph. I think that 69 is going to outlive 6-7. It's my prediction for 2026. That will truly be forever. They're growing up. They're growing up and they're going to know better.
I'm going to start us off here then, because you said you got a few less. You're going to start? Go.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Go.
Okay. I want to stop in point timeouts. That's like, I know it's the most talked about thing in the ULTI.TV stream, but it's just bad. Sorry, it's bad. Your team isn't magically good at it. It just, and as a person who on stream took an in point timeout, that then I immediately turned like 2 passes later. In the moment, it feels good. In the moment, it feels like you're really doing something there. Because you think you can't possibly, get a pass off. You think it's not working for you. Just give the ball to someone else. Maybe your teammates don't feel the same way. I've got a New Year's resolution that I will never take an endpoint timeout in 2026. No need for it.
No
need.
No, don't ever do it. Certainly don't do it if you're being streamed, because I won't let you live it down. You know what goes with that and wasn't in my notes? I want to see never again another red zone pull. Chicago Machine were doing it last year, rolling them out 20 meters away from where they started and playing defense in a short field. I don't understand it. I just do not understand, like, not wanting to chase the pull and not wanting to play defense with more space to be accountable for. I understand small bits of it, but you're supposed to, in an ideal offense, they're going to get down to that stage when you're more tired anyways, when they're more tired as well. I guess that is what the point is so that they can play hard defense in the small field, but I think they just give up way too much advantage doing it. Less of that, please.
I agree. I'm with you, Steph.
I also want to see, it baffles me. I mean, if you do it once, but like you said, again, Machine was doing, I saw them do it, but I don't know, 6-7 times last year, and I did not watch every one of their games, but that was
6-7.
I can't believe I just 6-7s there, but that was a legitimate estimation. Fouls called that severely impact results. Now, you know which game I'm talking about, the one that was the most infamous about it, but I still think it's happening a lot, and I think that this also turns into a game advisor kind of I want less of, but the game advisors got better. So maybe I want more of them. Maybe I want them to have more control and less conversation and debate more ability to snuff out bad calls early so that they don't rear their ugly head at the end. But all in all, like, huge play negating calls. I hope we get to an end because it is compromising our rule system, which is compromising our legitimacy of a sport to some end, and it's something that just like it just turns the sport on its head for one of these little plays that can mean the difference between a championship and a bronze medal or a fourth place finish. It could mean the difference between advancing into the quarters or not, whatever it might mean when a celebration is being had. And I get it. They're not all going one way, but I want there to be less of this. I want our rules to have a better fix. I want the game advisors to be able to talk less and to determine how the outcome is going to be more, which means
let me build on that, Stef.
Third party impartials.
Let me build on this. Less ignoring perspectives. And I'm not even talking so much game advisors here. I'm talking video boards. Like, I think there was, we're talking about that one foul. I just saw popped up my Instagram, AJ Merriman versus, I think, Ben Yonkers foul call, where he clearly is ref, sorry. And like AJ clearly gets it first, and they're right next to the video board. I think you just got to see it. Like, you just got to look at the video board and be like, the guy got it. The guy got it. So, that's a foul. Some foul calls are legitimate. I just think that people need to like go into the asking a perspective of the game advisor, of the video board, of the sideline, of the photographer, videographer next to you. And if you're not gonna like even one, you should look at it and take it into this perspective. And two, if you are gonna look at it, you gotta have the open mind that you might be wrong.
Yeah, that's the thing. People can look at it and still be deluded and like blurred vision, and that I don't get. Like I do. I was a fiery competitor when I used to be able to run around. I get it, but there has to be an end to it, or the rule set is broken. Or if you can watch a video of yourself fouling someone and still say contest, it can be difficult. Ben Yacht Dan Demarais in that same beach final, I thought. Ben Yacht was crazy for thinking that he was fouled, and he was adamant. I thought Don was legitimate. Then I watched it back. Then I listened to Rowan McDonald break it down on his podcast or one of his shows. And, hearing different perspectives, watching people break it down in different ways does give maybe he's right. Maybe Ben didn't have a choice, but he did go straight. He had to go through a play, blah blah blah. It's clearly difficult, but yeah, there have to be tweaks to game advising integration, and I think at the end of last year is for them to be able to shut people up more, because the more the players keep talking, the more it seems to be further from correct.
I've got two more in-play things that I want to mention here. One I've moaned about to quite a lot, and it is the questionable injury substitution. It's one of my least favorite things in Ultimate, and that's for one reason. I just think
it happens a lot.
It happens a lot. I feel like it's happening more and more. It used to be a thing I could say, I feel like it happens in America, it doesn't happen in Europe, and now I feel like it happens in Europe as much, if not more, than it happens in America. This could go back
to your coaching scouting reports, even that you were talking about, your coaching narratives, because there's some coaches that happen to have players taking substitutions more for.
Yeah, you're cheating, is what I want to say to you. You're cheating. My last one is the OB pull, and it's not like OB pulls are so bad. You shouldn't give people the brick. It's just, as a person who produces Ultimate, it is so boring to watch the one handler walk to the disc 10 meters off the pitch and then walk 30 meters to the brick mark. Like, I think Conor McKell's made this point before. Can we please get the disc in the hand of the person who is going to check it in? I understand that the thrower doesn't want to sprint to the disc and then sprint to the brick mark because they're going to be tired. We just need to give get them the disc quicker, like
But
even
I
without them
mean,
leaving the
also
field.
like, yeah, also this, you got to pick up your own disc, and you got send somebody, send an official, send a volunteer, send a teammate to get that damn disc and get it into play. I agree with you. Like that's where we're spending, especially if this game is deemed good enough to make it onto a stream pitch, and we're spending 40 seconds watching a guy walk with a disc. You're right. Let's have enough of that.
It's like every other long
Uh,
discussion in the game, like thing like that. We can play some replays. We can at least talk about the call. If you're going to spend a minute talking about the foul call, we don't love to see it. At least we can play the replay. If you mess around with the brick, there is nothing to show. It is just some dude walks the disc to a spot on the field. It is really, really dull.
Yeah. Not last thing, but another thing I want to say: streamed games playing an extra point when the results are fixed and time has expired. This happens to us a lot when now we're doing smaller tournaments, tighter schedules, fun tournaments. Sometimes they're deemed, well, it's no fun. If the game's over, get off the damn pitch. How many times? It's the same thing. Like it changes when it's streamed. It changes when it's being called. But like if I call a finish of a game. Like, they win that score at 15-12, whatever the final score. Oh, they're playing another point. They can only play one more point. It will not change the result. Time is over. The next teams are waiting to get on, and I've already called the winner, and the captain, let's play another game. Just stop. Just don't play that point. You don't need it. You don't need one more point in your life, especially not in pursuit of growing Ultimate and making it better and easier to watch and understandable for spectators. Stop playing the extra damn point. We saw it a lot this year, Noah.
We saw it far too much, and there's far too many schedules as well that have the losing team scores the final point. It's the best thing about Ultimate. Best thing about our scoring system is the winning team scores the final point. Just keep it that way.
Yeah, put a bit of a gap in your schedules so that you can finish a game properly. Sure, you might get a blowout or two that turn into slowouts, but more, you're going to get games that have tight, grindy finishes, which is what everybody wants. Teams with small or illegible numbers. I don't need to go on about that one. Just stop. Just stop.
I hear there's someone trying to provide people jerseys this year, Stef. Who might be able to help with that
Come to me
kind of
and I will give you
conundrum.
great advice on how to make your uniforms commentator broadcast friendly, so that the commentators will do nothing but praise your taste and style and say your name right because it's easy to reference, all those good things. The other thing with uniforms, less inconsistencies. This takes me back to Ireland mixed. You can't have two different shorts. I mean, to some end, and Noah, you and I just have our own disagreements about the uniform chat here. But, even cut off sleeves versus long sleeves, if they're the same, I think I can deal with that. It's the same. But I would rather everything be uniform. This is the one that grinds my gears the most, but you disagree with me. But I even want accessories on my team to be, simple. 3 options. When I was with Isno, it was red, white, or black. You could pick a hat or a wristband or tights that are showing that are those colors, or don't wear them, or you're out of uniform. That is taking it to the next level. That is my plea for professionality. But I do still think the word uniform itself is for uniformity, for everyone to feel as one. And accessorizing is really to show your individual contribution to the team. So I would like less individual contributions and more collective uniformity.
Forgot about one more, Steph. What I want more of is people wearing pajama pants to play Frisbee. I think that's one of my favorite.
Pajama pants.
Yeah, pajama trousers. We've been seeing that
What
around.
is the matter with you? How are we doing this show together? I can't understand you, Noah. Jesus Christ.
I'm kidding. I'm
Lucky-
kidding.
You're lucky you've got other redeeming qualities, but yes, no pajama pants. Don't listen to Noah's nonsense.
I have one more left. My last New Year's resolution, Steph, and maybe there's a little bit of hypocrisy, but I didn't put hypocrisy on my New Year's resolution. That's a 2027 job. My last one, and I think that you've got this on your list too, Steph. We got to do less moaning. We're pretty moany. Brits are good for it as well, but we have a podcast. Men with podcasts get the microphones out. Gonna have to have a bit of a moan, but I know the world is pretty
I put the
freaking
same. I
great.
put complaints instead of moaning, but it's the same thing. I want to complain less, and I would like to hear less complaints, both about what I'm doing and what others are doing. There's got to be a way to flip ourselves into maybe not ignoring, but not bringing our complaints to the level of conversation, and certainly not of presentation, and having a show and making our complaints front page news. Sometimes our topics do put us in a situation where we have to give opinion, and it's either a positive or a complaint. But I do generally think that I, anyways, and maybe I can say it as a collective, we will only be doing ourselves favor to complain less and hear less, of course. So don't complain to me. My other one is doom scrolling and distractions. Doom scrolling, I am a proper addict. I don't know what to do. I'm considering throwing my phone out. I don't know what to do. I'm going to put some parameters on it so it will go to sleep at certain hours and not allow me to touch socials and certain apps at certain hours. But it has come down to that because I am letting myself go in the world of doom scrolling way more often than I feel is healthy. So that is something that is going to be repaired.
I agree. I want answer on a postcard for this one as well. If you've fixed your doom scrolling as your 2025 resolution, let us know, because I'm pretty chronically online stuff.
Yeah. Less excuses, less missed opportunities for great ultimate to have a stage, less fear of failure, more effort for potential success, less crap, more good, less bombs, more peace, less deportation, more incorporation, less hate, more love, less worry, more happiness, less ball, more disc. Those are my final words on
That's
resolutions,
beautiful.
Noah.
Absolutely beautiful stuff.
An amazing 2026. You and Grabco, first things first, and in particular, but to all our wonderful viewers, I hope that this year brings you everything your heart desires. I hope that 2025 was good to you and brought you in on the right foot. And I look forward to seeing all of you at tournaments and on live streams across Europe and the globe over the course of the next year. It's going to be a good one, Noah.
It's going to be a great one, Steph. Thanks very much for sitting and chatting your 2026. Let's wish for a very good one.
That's it. So with that said, we are going to check our first episode of 2026 into the books. For Noah Brinkworth, alongside for Grabco on the ones and twos, I've been Stef Pazzo. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll catch y'all next time.